Oh, I didn't even know what I was doing. Welcome to The Localist, a podcast for local makers and independent entrepreneurs. I'm your host, author of the Localist book and former small business owner, Carrie Rollwagen. So today I wanted to share some tips for prompting AI to get better results. So if you've listened before, you probably know that I have maybe not mixed feelings about AI, but I'm not like I'm not a Luddite, but I'm also not, let's use AI for every single thing. I think AI is a really great tool, but I do think it needs some kind of some human thought and oversight, if that makes sense, like to kind of look at the results and make sure the results are what you want. But it is also true that the better you're prompting AI, and especially when it comes to writing, or really the prompts are kind of for anything, but the better you prompt, the better the results will be. And that this can be a really helpful tool for a lot of business owners to get more out of your time. Especially when it comes to writing, there are so many places that we need to use writing, and I think it's a really accessible way to use AI. Like obviously you can use AI for images and things as well, but I think that can get a little more dicey as far as whether or not you want to use that on social media, or is going to perform, or is it going to look weird or whatever. But I do think that using AI to do some writing, or at least to give you an assist with writing, is a pretty easy way to get started and to see if this is a good tool for you. So as AI evolves, we kind of like the way we prompt it and things evolve too. There's some things I've shared here before, and also I've done a talk on AI and writing for Infomedia. So on their YouTube, there's a whole talk about using AI for writing. And even though that was several months ago, most of the principles still hold true. There's nothing in that talk that is incorrect now, but there are also some more ways of writing prompts to get better results that have kind of come up since that talk. So I kind of wanted to do an overview of how to write better prompts to get better results. So first of all, just make sure you're as specific as possible. So some of that is just saying things like, tell AI the length that you're looking for. If you want 50 words, if you want 200 words, if you want 2 pages, you don't have to know that exactly, because you can kind of guess, and then if it's still too long, just make it shorter. But telling AI the format that you want it, how long you want it, whether or not it's going to have you want it to have bullet points. You should tell it if you want it to use emojis or not, because it likes to throw in emojis instead of bullet points. But if you tell it not to do that, it won't. But being really specific about the length is helpful. It can also be helpful to be specific about the tone. So do you want it to be casual? Do you want it to be professional? Do you want it to be a blend of casual and professional? It can do all of those things, but it really helps to be as specific as you can. Another tip that really helps in AI is to tell ChatGPT or whatever AI tool you're using who you want it to be. So if you're wanting to write marketing materials, start off by saying you're a marketing expert, and then write whatever you want to say. Or you can say, if you're writing, a sales proposal, say you're a sales expert, or you can even say you're a sales and marketing expert. It seems to me that it seems strange to have to tell AI who you want it to be. I'm like, if I'm asking for marketing advice, of course I want you to be an expert. But this actually does really help to kind of set the tone and to get better results from AI. Another thing I really like to do is, especially if I'm writing something long, like if I'm writing a drip email campaign or something that's maybe 5 pages, or a business proposal or something like that. Before I tell AI to write, I will say, give me an outline of what you plan to write. Because say a drip email campaign, that can be dozens of emails. And it is much easier for me, instead of reading through all the dozens of emails and saying, this is where you got it wrong. I love just being able to look at an outline and saying, okay, in email 2, in point 3, change it from this to this, and kind of to go through that outline. It saves a lot of time, and then you can kind of have it go to the races on writing, and you'll get better results out of that writing. Another thing I really love to do is when you're done with the writing, or when you're done writing the prompt, before you hit enter, to say, what else do you need to know from me to answer this question? And that is extremely helpful because AI does a good job of like just pulling a lot of information from everywhere, like really in whatever language model has fed it. So especially something with marketing or business or things like that, it does have a lot of kind of knowledge base baked in. So first I will write a really long prompt. Like my prompts are like paragraphs and paragraphs. I just stream of consciousness, everything I'm thinking that I want to go in here. And then I will say, what else do you need to know from me? And especially in marketing and business areas, it has a lot of really good questions that it's pulling from other pieces and blogs people have done on this that have kind of fed it, if that makes sense. So it'll often ask things like, what is the audience that you want for this? Do you want a call to action? Do you like just normal questions for business and marketing, but things that I don't always think to put into a prompt? It can really help it to hone in. And not only like, even if you had given it enough information at the beginning, this can really help to make sure not only that it's getting all the information, but also that it's like taking the right tone, that it's coming at it from the right angle. And so I do think that is something that I have in almost all my prompts now. Almost all the time before I hit enter, I say, before you start writing, let me know what else you need to know from me. And that can be really helpful. So I do think that AI can be really useful for what we're doing in business. I also think we should kind of treat it with a little bit of caution. So especially with writing, I kind of think of AI as sort of like an intern, where they have a lot of knowledge. They have knowledge maybe even that I don't have because they're learning something new, and they're bringing that to the table, and that can be really good. But I'm also going to expect that an intern isn't always going to know how to be the most professional, that they may need me to like go over what they're saying and to kind of put my own spin on it, maybe fact check it a little bit more. I just have a little bit more skepticism with, say, an intern than with someone who I've worked with for 5 years, who's been in the business world longer. And I think that's really healthy skepticism to have with AI as well. So absolutely use it as a tool, use it to create some of your drafts or emails or whatever it is. I think you can get better, more targeted results by some of these prompting tips, like be very specific, tell it how many words to give, let it know what tone, tell it who it needs to be, and ask it what else it needs to know. So this can really help, but also it is always good to give a critical eye to that as well. The Localist podcast is written and produced by me, Carrie Rollwagen. We record here at Infomedia Studios, so we would love to have you in the studio. If you're interested in doing your own podcast, if you need photo or video for your business, or even if you just need reels or YouTube shorts, or you want some videos to put on your LinkedIn, we would love to help. So find us at infomedia.com and fill out that contact form. We will just have a conversation and see if there's anything that we can do to help. Our showrunner is Taylor Davis, our outreach manager is Jen Tucker, and our promotions manager is Elena Harmond. You can find show notes and links to anything we talked about today at carrierollwagen.com, and you can find me on pretty much all social media at CRollwagen. So until next time, here's to thinking global by acting local and putting small shops before big box.